was a key to unlock a deeper connection with your audience, making your program not just seen, but also deeply understood and truly desired. And that key is infographics. So stay tuned for today's session of Strategy with Sally as I talk to you about how these visual powerhouses can truly elevate your coaching business. So hang on in as we do our normal countdown with the Sparkle song and we wait for all our VIPs to join us. See you back here in about 3 minutes. If you're on the replay, scroll on through and we'll get stuck into the content. Unless you like the Sparkle song, then dance.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art. You should know that you are perfect with those flaws. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Know that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Shine. Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine.
Hello, welcome to Strategy with Sally. I'm your host, Sally Sparks Cousins. If you're struggling to convey the true value of your coaching program in the massive sea of that digital noise out there, well, imagine if there was a key to truly unlocking that deeper connection with your audience and also making your program seen but also understood, especially if you've got a soft offer. And we're going to get into soft offer today in Strategy with Sally. But the key to this is infographics. So that's what we're going to cover today, and how infographics has truly changed the way we help our clients, but also how we communicate the value of what it is we do with prospects. And it keeps it super, super simple. So today we're going to dive into a lot of the challenges and then also what is a soft offer and what is a hard offer, and then how infographics will actually help you to be able to explain what it is you do in a much clearer and simpler way. Then I'm also going to give you some examples of a few infographics that we've designed for our clients, and I'll give you a sneak peek at our infographic. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, then I recommend when we get to the visual component, might be nice if you head on over to YouTube and look for the name of this episode where we did the live recording, because we do a live recording for our podcast most of the time. Well, pretty much all of the time. What do I mean most of the time? Everything's done live and then repurposed. All right. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Sally Sparks Cousins. I'm the founder of the Sparkle Class Academy, and I am the creator of the Freedom Funnel Formula. And I've been in this coaching game for a little over 6 years now. Well, actually named as a coach. But prior to that, I was teaching and mentoring and qualified to do all of those things. But I never really gave it that coach label until I started my own business and stopped teaching in schools and universities and TAFEs as well. So let us know in the chat if wherever you're joining us live from, please comment in the chat. I love to meet new faces. I can see there's a few people out there on the live stream now. So let us know if you're brand new to the Sparkle world, or is this are you a sparkler? And if you are a sparkler, you know you drop the sparkle and the purple hearts, right? Because that's what I love, right? All right, well, infographics. Before we dig into infographics, first I really wanted to talk to you today about the challenges that a lot of coaches have when it comes to trying to sell their coaching programs, particularly if the offer or the promise has a soft outcome. So when your program's value isn't directly tied to usually a financial return, it's rather intangible. So those type of benefits might be you're selling confidence or stress reduction, or maybe an enhanced relationship, or even the unique ability to be able to communicate with your pets. Yes, I've actually worked with a coach who offers just that. So how do you convincingly first set a price, but also how do you articulate the most value of that transformation to potential clients who are often looking for something more tangible, something that they feel they can grab onto and they can measure? So the crux of the matter really lies in that inherent difficulty in quantifying true value of, say, personal growth or mental well-being or emotional fulfillment. So a hard offer has usually a financial gain that can be easily measured and communicated, where a soft offer requires you to really tap into something a bit deeper, right? An understanding of how you can connect with your audience with that emotional or mental outcome, right? So these particular soft offers, they demand that we not just speak to the logical mind, which is, in the heart of an ROI financially, but also that we resonate with the heart and with the soul of our potential clients. So you might be wondering, how are you going to bridge that gap? How can I make someone see the worth of the transformation that can't be balanced in, say, your bank account, but it will be felt in every fiber of your being? So the solution is simple and more powerful than you might think. And that is what I want to talk to you today about, is infographics. It's a tool we often associate with things like statistics and data, and it really can be a really good ally when it comes to selling your coaching program. Because with one well-crafted infographic, you can visually and emotionally convey the profound impact that your program offers. Now, I studied infographics when I was back at university getting my degree as a communication designer. And we were given the task of very complicated information, and we had to simplify it down into something graphical. Do you know newspapers? Well, magazines, people in print, well, mostly online now, not so much as it used to be in print, but people are hired specifically for their talent in being able to take complicated data and be able to communicate it visually to you. I think, and I should have checked this statistics, I think it's something like 600 times more you can process data when you see it visually than when it's through the spoken word. So there is a statistic out there, and I totally should have looked that statistic up, but I believe that it's around 600 times faster you can process information when you can see it visually. So let me know, has this been something that you've thought about in the past, or is this a brand new concept to you? All right, so let's have a look here really in the power of infographics as a coach. Now, in the world of coaching, we're making so many different, like lots of you are making lots of different transformations, often external and more deep within that person's soul. And communicating that profound impact of your program can be a real challenge. And this is where the true power of the infographic, it really shines bright for you all. So let's explore this visual tool as a game changer and illustrate how the unseen and the intangible, that deep transformation and outcome that you have, can be communicated through an infographic. So try to imagine you want to convey the concept of, say, confidence or maybe stress reduction. In those words alone, how do you do that? So while your descriptive language can sort of paint the picture, an infographic will actually bring that picture to life. What it does is it allows you to really immerse yourself into that more abstract concept, and you then can create concrete visuals. So what it does is it makes that intangible more tangible. So what you'll think about using is a combination of data, right, that you could use to help them see the path they're going through, or icons is a really great way to create infographics, and also put in sort of brief narratives alongside the infographics, because that can really help to encapsulate that journey of the before, where they start when they join you, and the after, right? That clear and compelling step by step that you take them through. So for instance, an infographic can visually depict the journey, the steps that someone is going through to gain more confidence. So if you were to start with, say, a silhouette, right, and it's filled with the word self-doubt, right, and then leading through the pathway of your coaching program and your particular techniques, what you could do is slowly turn this silhouette into, say, radiating words of self-assurance. So that visual pathway can show you from that dark silhouette of self-doubt right through to self-confidence and bright and rainbow and radiating out. So this will help it for those people thinking about joining your program to see that transformative power of your coaching program, but also make it easier for those potential clients to see themselves in the journey. And moreover, the infographic really taps into the brain's innate preferences to consume visual information. It makes also your program highly shareable and also engaging. As well, having a designed infographic is more likely to help you stand out in this sea of noise on what we call social media, right? And it'll also extend your reach, because if it's a well-designed infographic, people will share it, and then they'll attract more eyes onto your coaching program. So the shareable factor alone, it really amplifies your coaching program's value. Also, it draws in individuals who resonate with the transformation that you're offering. So, in essence, an infographic is not just a tool for processing information in a presentation, it actually bridges the gap and connects that emotional and the rational parts of your brain. It makes the outcome of your coaching program, it communicates it to you, to the people buying on the other end, right? So maybe you're achieving like that state of Zen, right? And you want to see how vividly clear you can help somebody go from the muddy waters of a mind in chaos through to a calm, vivid, clear Zen state. And you can illustrate that in graphics. So as a coach who's really striving to sell a program with that soft outcome, leveraging the power of an infographic isn't just smart marketing. In my personal opinion, it's an essential strategy to visually articulate the pricelessness of the program, the transformation that you are bringing to people's lives while you're sharing your inner sparkle and helping them. So I thought I would show you who would like to see our infographic. So if you're on the podcast, you need to come and hunt us down over on YouTube. Just look for me by name. I'm going to share. Oh, hang on. What happened there? Let's go Command Z. It's gone all weird. Where did we go? Here I am. Hi. Oh, dear. All right. So here is our infographic that we created. Now, I want you to realize that this infographic for the Freedom Funnel formula has been developed over many years, okay? I've made many iterations to this infographic to get it to this point. But what I've been able to communicate is when people, like our program is broken down into these 7 major phases, okay? And every client comes in at a different phase, depending on what their biggest struggle is with their business. So in phase 1 is having a vision, why you are doing what it is that you do. And then also setting some sexy numbers, right? You need a traction plan, which is actually from the book Traction, okay? It's something that we use in our business and we get our clients to model it in theirs. So phase 1 is to see it. Now you can see in the infographic, we've put phase 1 in there. We've put a picture of a little eye in there to represent seeing it as a little icon. Okay, then moving on to phase 2 is the design it method. Now this is where we're creating your signature method, okay, your step by step. And this is also where we help our clients create the infographic as well. So we're looking at in the design it phase, it's the idea, right? We're taking that idea out of our head and we're mapping it out into a signature method. So a graphic that I've used, you can see there, is a little idea, right? A little, if you're listening to this on the podcast, it's a light bulb, okay? Then once we have the thing that we're selling, we then need to build a live training, and this is what we teach. There's lots of other people that teach different ways to attract people, but build a live training and build the tech stack to be able to support the traffic flow. Then in phase 4, we've got to fill the live event, which is marketing and messaging. And then we move into stage 6, which is now we've got traffic and people are looking at our offer. We now need to learn how to sell it well and measure everything. And as you can see, these little lines keep coming back from build it, and then we're constantly measuring and optimizing. So each of these phases are all measured and optimized. Everything gets measured and optimized because we want to build it once and then measure and optimize. Then we move into stage 6, which is building the onboarding for when people join you. You deliver your content live and turn it into a course. And then stage 7 is once everything is measured and optimized, we then go evergreen. Oh, the holy grail of evergreen. And if you want to know more about evergreening, I have a podcast episode on that as well. So this is our infographic. Now, when you look at that, it gives a lot more information to you than what I can verbally tell you, right? I'm showing you financial gains. I'm showing you like building gains that you're getting throughout the length of our program. Now, some of our people come in for 1 year and they might just complete 1 or 2 of these, but then we've got clients signed up for, 3 or more years with us, right? And then, they're going through all of these and they're working with us. So as I said, all clients come in at a different stage with us, and we assess when we have a sales call with them, like this section here, when we're doing a sales call with them, which stage they need to be in. So for example, I've got a client coming in today and she is getting a mapping session done, and she is just working on, not that one, this one, the design it phase, right? And then we're going to create an infographic. So I've pulled together a couple of examples from our clients of some infographics that we've done also in the past, so you can see some more examples of what they look like. So here is, come on, change screen. There we go. Yeah, okay. So here is one. Now, all of the stuff up the top here, this is a whole nother lesson. If you want to know about what's happening at the top of this infographic, then just go to sparkleclassacademy.com/infographic and it'll explain more of this. But I just want to show you the actual steps. So you can see here, this is a client who helps people go from single to coupled, and we can see the steps, right, with pictures and infographics and a very short amount of text. Then we've got this client here who helps carers, so people who are caring for, adults, or generally elderly adults or parents, right? So we can see here her program is Family Matters, and these are the steps she takes them through. So step 1 focuses in on the caregiver, so starting at home, right, the person, and then moving to the loved one. Then what other support can they get when they reach out? And then also other experts that they bring into the program to also support the program. Here's another client that we built an infographic for. Again, if you want to know more about this one at the top here, just go to sparkleclassacademy.com/infographic. But I just want to show you the method. So these graphics that I'm showing you are a graphical representation of the signature method. So this particular program is about relationship intelligence and the steps that they take them through to create relationship intelligence. And then this one here, this was for a client who helps people to put pen to paper. And what they're doing is trying to get them within a certain a set amount of steps to complete their first draft. So you can see here that they work through each of these steps, and it's really cool. Like, we put a little writing pen in the infographic here that shows as she builds upon this, we create this whole step-by-step process to create pen to paper to get them to their first draft. And then this one is for a client who helps people with snow kiting. So this is where they're up on the mountains and they've got those big kites and they're being pulled up the mountain and down the mountain by wind. So when I created this one, I sort of pictured that this is kind of like looking down over a kite. But this program is a little different, say, to our program, which this one here, this has just changed screen, where we've got that kind of step-by-step process, right? That one thing leads to the next thing, leads to the next thing. Whereas in this one, go back to that slide there, It's like choose your own adventure. So people can come in and they want to know how to pack correctly to go to the snow, or how to fix things on the go, or personal fitness. Because, I mean, holding on to that kite, right? You've got to be very, very fit. So this kind of shows that they can go around the outside of this and choose their own adventure. So as you can see here, that's a few examples for you of some of the infographics that we've created. Now, it's not just, we use verbiage to explain the infographic, but in a very concise way, because the images themselves should speak volumes compared to the words that you have or that you use. Now, of course, those people that do choose to have us help them create an infographic, we also teach you how to use it in a sales call. We give you a full sales script, and we also show you how to use that top section of the infographic as well. But I really wanted to hone in on the signature method component for you today. So I've got a little action task for you in regards to starting to think about you and your infographic. So as we always say, this is the GSD component, right? Get shit done. I want you to think about what are your major steps or milestones that you're taking people through inside your program. And then I want you to think about what images can you use to reflect that information clearly, right? And start to build upon that. Now, the most easiest way is to just go to icons. Okay, icons are easy to use. You just search for a certain word or a few words with the word icon in it and start to map it out. But if you want to get a professional graphic designer on your case and building it for you, then we certainly offer that. But don't let it stop you from starting to play around with it. I've seen some pretty atrocious infographics come across my table, but by the time you get a professional designer to run their eye over it, if you've got a starting point, that professional designer will then make it more visually appealing, because it doesn't mean you can't do it yourself. And we've got clients who have totally done it themselves. But the difference between having a designer do it is they actually understand design, layout, and all the principles when it comes to design. There's lots of principles and rules, really, that we follow in design. It always makes me think back to when I was in the 90s and early 2000s, when graphic design and digital photography, and that was really starting to come into its own. Some stay-at-home mums started calling themselves graphic designers because they could use Photoshop, right? But back then, if you go back into those kind of early 2000s and, you'll see that design was very busy. Okay, because people were starting to experiment with, say, using Photoshop and Illustrator, and it could do lots of things like, who's heard of the word drop shadow, right? Or a stroke, or a gradient, or a bevel emboss, right? These are all things we can do with images inside of design software. Canva also does a lot of that as well. Back then, people used to put it all in. If you go and have a look at the very old Google logos, you'll see that there's a drop shadow, there's a stroke, which means lines around the outside, there's a bevel emboss, which means it kind of looks like it's standing off the paper, and a gradient, because all of the letters fade into other colors. It was kind of like, just because you could, everyone was doing every kind of special effect in their design. And, a bit of a rule is, just because you can doesn't mean you should. All right. Keep it super simple, and it actually looks clean, more modern, and it really works so much better when it comes to your design. So, number one, just start thinking for yourself. What are those major milestones and hurdles? And what's one simple image that can help to explain each of those steps? All right, so that's your GSD. And then if you want more information or any help, just reach out to us here. We're totally happy to, have a look over it for you as well. All right, so for those of you who are out there on the live stream, and I can see there's a few people inside of our room, raise your hands. Come on, you've got to come up now. It's time for key takeaways. Turn those cameras on. And before we go dark with our clients, we're going to do some key takeaways. And Erica's here. Hi, Erica. So what would be your key takeaway from today?
I think just the ease of use for the infographic. It's easy to explain, and you don't get caught up in all the words, but it's easy for people to visually see the journey that you're going to take them on. So I love the infographic.
And we also highlighted yours today.
I know, it's so exciting. It's real.
And Eva, I'm so happy to see Eva's in the room. Are you there, Eva? Do you want to come up and share a key takeaway? Or Tony and Melissa, Sarah? There she is. I've missed her smiling face. Hello, Eva.
Hey, yeah, so this was fantastic because one of the things I'm deep diving into now is all of the different ways that people learn. So if somebody is more of a visual learner, this is a great way for them to see the steps and to speak to all of the different learning patterns in a way that meets them where they are.
Yeah. Excellent. All right, and anyone else in the room want to? I know you all go quiet on me, and then we end up spending hours inside the room. All right, let's do it. They're all waiting for Q&A. All right, we're about to go dark. So all of our VIPs out there, I know a lot of you wait for us to go dark so you can come in and ask your questions. Head on into the VIP room. I did see my client that's out there on the live stream at the moment, Maria. I did send you a link so you can come on and be a fly on the wall for Strategy with Sally if you want to. All right. Well, everybody, this is Strategy with Sally. We repurpose this beauty and we put it into our podcast. But if you don't want to miss any of our lives, then make sure that you subscribe to YouTube. Okay, hit that little bell button so you get notified whenever we do go live. And if you want to stay up to date with any of our upcoming events, then go to sparkleclassacademy.com/calendar. We try to keep that up to date with when all of our live events are running for free. So that's all of our free live events. So it's a really good idea to subscribe to that in your Google Calendar. And then once it's in your Google Calendar, make a copy of the events you want to come to and put them into your personal calendar so it blocks it out. And that's what our clients do, because Tuesday is the day with all our experts. We've got Christy in here, Joyce, we've got our copywriter coming in, visual graphics, all of those people coming into the VIP room to work with you. And our rule now is we stay until all your questions are answered. So come on in, VIPs, all of our clients out there. And for everybody else out there on the live stream, please get those tippy tap fingers out, or even if you're on the replay, and share with us your key takeaway and tag us or tag me so we can see your outcomes, right? What was your key takeaway or your aha moment, or, what's one thing you're going to do differently now moving forward? Now, of course, as always, we're going to part ways with never let anyone dull your sparkle, and make sure you get at least one income producing activity done each and every day. And I will see you on the next live. Bye for now.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And